I'm David Kano with the Hollywood MMA Show and MMA Show News. And today on the Hollywood Hotline, we have a former collegiate athlete, running back out of TCU, Aundre Dean. Aundre, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. I can't complain. It's late out here, man. It's late out here. You still up early, grinding and shining in California, but it's all good. I'm getting it out here in Dallas, Texas. So,
How is the weather down there right now?
man, the weather is cold. It's real cold. It's starting to get into the 60s and the 50s. And not really my cup of tea, but it is what it is. Can't complain. Got to roll with it.
Well, the reason why we have you on today is in the light of the past few weeks. There was an incident a couple weeks ago between Uriah Hall and Jason Mayhem Miller, where a white former UFC fighter used the N-word against a black current UFC fighter. And it wasn't in a jestful manner. I mean, obviously, you've seen the video and you saw that they were about to square off. What were your thoughts on that video right there?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, when you're one of those, when you're a celebrity, when you're an artist, when you're an actor, when you're an athlete, everything that you do is always in the media. It's always in the spotlight, and people are going to portray you and make you seem a certain way to get views, to get hits, to get all of that kind of stuff, man. And it is what it is. I mean, you don't really have any privacy, so it's hard to do anything without anything getting out into the public and getting out into the media. I think it was out of line to, call anybody out of their name as far as racial slurs go and stuff like that. But at the same time, I mean, it's pressure. It's pressure. And I think a lot of times those athletes, artists, celebrities, I mean, they get pressure to an extent they just snap. And, I mean, it's tough when you have no privacy. You can't really do anything. Everything that you do always gets out to the open. And, it's hard to live that lifestyle sometimes.
Well, you just said right there that he used it as a racial slur. Do you think the way he used it with the A at the end instead of the ER, do you think that makes it still a racial slur?
No, it don't matter if it's an A or ER at the end, period. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, anytime you say that and you have intentions of saying it, in a disrespectful manner towards anybody, whether it's a white person, black person, Mexican person, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's out of line. It's unacceptable. I mean, especially to do it in such a big stage and setting like that. I mean, you got to be bold to do something like that and really not really be paying attention again about what's going on at the time. And like I said, I mean, I really think people just snap. I mean, it's tough, man, when you're always in the media, you're always in the limelight. I mean, it's one of those things where, who knows if you really meant it, but at the same time, you said it, so it really don't matter if you meant it or not. That's the type of, that's the picture. That's what he's going to be portrayed as, And you got to live with that. When you do stuff like that, you got to live with the consequences.
Well, and recently in the NFL, as you being a former running back, football player, former parade All-American in high school, so you've been playing football. So the Richie Incognito used it against a teammate of his, Martin. But you have players coming to his defense saying that he used that word a lot, and he's not the only white player to use it because they use it in the locker room. Is that something that sounds about right?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I have white friends, like close friends of mine that'll say it here and there, and it'll slip out, and it's nothing, because I grew up with them, we cool, I know there's no bad intentions behind it. It's funny, sometimes we laugh about it and we move on. But then again, like I said, it's how you say it, and the demeanor behind it, and the intention that you have behind it. And that's all that really matters. I mean, you can always say, it's going to always be a debate, whether it's acceptable, period. You know what I mean? I just think it shouldn't be said, period. I mean, we shouldn't even say it. As African Americans, I feel like we should try to ban that, as much as we can away from, our vocabulary. And it's hard when we throwing it around every day, day to day, and then we get upset when somebody, a Caucasian or a white person says it. So it's almost a double standard. I mean, it's disrespectful bottom line because it is what it is, and we know where it comes from. But at the same time, it is what it is. It's not acceptable.
So you are saying that there is a double standard then, and you do use it, but that's all it is. You've said it is what it is like 10 times. And
that's what I just told you. I just said that. You keep bringing up the same thing, and I told you it's a double standard. It's going to be like that. It's nothing that we can do about it. I mean, we've accepted it among ourselves as a culture, but it's not acceptable for somebody in a different race to say it. Period. It's not even nothing else to it.
But do you think that's fair? I mean, in America, we try to teach.
It doesn't matter if you keep saying if it's fair or double. It doesn't matter. Like a double standard It doesn't matter if it's fair. You ask me if it's fair. Who cares if it's fair? As an African American, you better not say it to me. Another person better not say it to me. But if one of my people say it to me, then that's what it is.
But don't you think that that's not a good example to people that are the next generation?
Man, what do you mean the mix? It's not for the next generation. I mean, it's
But what does that teach our kids, though?
Man, it is what it is. I mean, you can teach your kids whatever you want to teach your kids, and I'm going to teach my kids what I want to teach my kids. Obviously, I'm not going to tell my kids, hey, it's okay for you to say the N-word, it's okay for you to say this, that, and the other. I mean, it's in music, it's on television, it's in movies. I mean, it's going to be out there in general. I don't have to say anything. You can't block your kids from listening to everything on the radio, from looking at everything on television, if you expect them to grow in any kind of way.
Yeah, but just getting back to Incognito, I mean, if he said it, no one confronted him about it. If he said it to you, would you confront him about it?
If he said it to me, then that'll be a problem. Like, that whole situation will be a problem. It's a problem because this dude, this huge football player, is in his feelings, and he's letting all these people run him off and get him out of his games. Or you get paid millions of dollars. It don't matter. It don't matter. Ain't nobody gonna talk me out of getting paid millions of dollars. You're gonna have to literally physically hurt me or harm me to take me away from getting paid millions of dollars and doing something that I love doing. So either way it goes, that situation is messed up on both sides. It would have been a completely different situation. I know this is all a little bit, but it would have been a completely different situation with me. That has nothing to do with football. Every time I've seen that boy, he would have had to fight. Whether it was in the locker room, whether it was on a football field, every time he seen me, we would fight. Every time he called my phone, we would fight. And that ain't got nothing to do with football. On the football field, during the game, I respect him. I'll play with him because that's my teammate. But at the end of the day, every time we go back in that locker room, as long as you calling me that, as long as you calling my phone, we gonna fight. And you gotta understand that. Whether I lose, whether I win, you gonna have to fight. Period. And that's just how it goes. And then when we go back to the football field, we can be friends and teammates. When we come off, if the disrespect is still there, you gonna have to sit.
Yeah, but it's a lot different from the Riley Cooper situation where he actually said it in a derogatory way.
Man, it don't matter. Bottom line, it's unacceptable for you to be saying it. You shouldn't be saying it. It ain't no right or wrong way to say that if you're a white person, if you're a Mexican person, really, if you're anything. I mean, if you're not an African American person, for you to say that word in any kind of way towards the other race is unacceptable. It doesn't even matter. Like we talking and double standards, all that. Like.
Okay, but where do you draw the line? First, like popular rapper Drake, he's half white and he says it. But what if someone's a quarter black? Can they say like, where's the line drawn?
Who cares about all that? It's not that serious. If you want to say it, you say it, and you risk the consequences of what happens from you saying it. Then that's it. I mean, if you want to try your luck, then try your luck. If you get your ass beat, then you get your ass beat. If you don't, then you don't. If they bash you in the media and say you're a racist, you a bigot, then that's the consequences that you have to deal with it. If you say it and they push it under the rug and nobody says anything about it, then that's the consequences, and so be it. It's a double standard, so you can't sit here and say like back and forth and say, well, what if he says it or what if he says it? It is what it is. It's going to be different reactions to different people from different media, and everybody's going to have their own spin and twist on it.
Wait, but here's the thing. If you're saying that, then you got to say, well, Fat Joe can't say it or Pitbull can't say it, but they're Cuban, one's Puerto Rican, but yet they say it in their lyrics. And
Well, they can say it all day, and our people is buying their music all day, so they can say it. That's just what it is.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Man, I'm finna get off the phone with you, dude, because it's like we going in a circle. Like, what is the definition of a double standard? Period. It's never going to be fair if it's a double standard. That's the whole point. That's the point. It's a double standard. Like, it's never going to really make sense.
I agree. You said double standard, but I was just trying to figure out if you knew where the line was. And right now, you can't tell me where the line is.
I don't know where the line is, and I really don't care where the line is. That's not my job to figure out where the line is. But if somebody says the N-word with an ER at the end or an A towards an African-American person or a Mexican person says it or a white person says it, all I know is if you say it to me and you are any other race and you say it in a term or derogatory way, then we got a problem. Period. I can't show nothing else. I done already told you I got white friends that are, what's up, my nigga? TJ, what's up? And I'm like, yo, what's good, dude? You funny. He's like, what's up? And I had people call me that in a negative way, and I was ready to fight at the same time. And I had to refrain myself so I wouldn't look like an idiot and just walk away from the situation. It's a double standard. That's how it's going to be. There's no questions. There's no...
But you just contradicted yourself, Aundre. What you said was that you don't let anyone outside of your race call you that, but then you said if a white friend says it in a funny way, it's okay.
Because that's the whole point of a double standard. Period. I know if my best friend said that to me from Pop Warner, I've been on this dude since he was 8 years old. Zach Hill. This is if you talk about white people, my dude Zach Hill, I've been knowing this dude since, I know his parents, his mother, his dad, I know their birthday, I know everybody's birthday. It was like my best friend. If we chilling and we kicking it, and he said to me, then it's nothing. Bottom line, that's just what it is. It's double standard. But if I'm on the street, and somebody says to me in a derogatory tone or a different form, even no matter how you say it, I'm going to turn in and say, who said that? I want to know who said it. Because that's a double standard. And if I feel like he was saying it in a derogatory way, at the end of the day, you got to see. I want to know what's going on. I want to know why you said it, what makes you feel so comfortable saying that. And if you take that risk to say it in the open, in media, or someone like that, then you got to deal with the consequences that go behind.
So what you're saying was you
purple, green, or whatever.
Well, I know some races that are not black that they said a lot around black, white, everything. Like for instance, like the Polynesians.
So be it. Well, so be it.
So that's part of the double standard, then, right?
What? Yeah, we've already discussed it. It's a double standard. So once again, we're going back and forth in a circle.
It's clarification, Aundre. It's clarification.
There's no clarification for a double standard. There is no clarification. That's why it's a double standard.
Because you did contradict yourself several times.
Double standard. Just like if you a dude and you got a girlfriend, you don't want your girlfriend talking to nobody else, but you might, I'm talking to somebody else on the side. Is that right? No, it's wrong. It's a double standard. Either way it goes, it's wrong in both eyes, but it's a double standard. You might think as an individual it's cool. You might say, yeah, it's a double standard, but realistically it's not right. Either way you look at it.
And so what you're saying...
When you look at it, if a black person said it's not right, if a white person said it's really not right, but it's a double standard, if a black person said he get away with it, if a white person said it's a problem.
And so what you were saying, if you were Jonathan Martin, you would have punched Richie Incognito?
Absolutely. Punch them is not even a word. He would have had to see every single day. He would have had to see and say he apologized. And that ain't got nothing to do with football. When we get on the football field, we playing football because that's my job. That's my profession. I'm getting paid to play football. Period. Just like I'm not going to go to Enterprise and start a fight or do something crazy. But when we get off work and I get off at 5 o'clock and we go to the parking lot and I'm going to my car and you going to your car, that ain't got nothing to do with Enterprise. That's between me and that's between you.
And you're 6'1", 220 going against someone 6'3", 320?
I don't care. I might lose. I might get beat up, but you still don't have to see me.
Why do you think no one else has checked him about it?
Honestly, I really can't speak for nobody else. I only can speak for myself. Both of them dudes is dead. They both offensive linemen. As far as I'm concerned, the dude is weak. If you just gonna sit there and let somebody talk you out of your game or talk you out of doing something that you love doing, that you've been doing since you was a little kid, since you was like, yay high, you get paid millions of dollars to do it, then you're a weak-minded individual and you got some personal issues that you probably need to go get help for.
That's Aundre Dean, and thank you so much for your time.